All right, so this week what we're going to do is we are going to rig our character. What I want to do first is just to make sure, you should have already exported it out, but just in case you didn't, I'm just going to export out the character and the texture maps and stuff, and then we'll start a fresh Maya project folder, and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is my guy inside of Mudbox. So what I want to do is just select the character itself. So I'm going to click on Poly Surface 3. That's apparently the character. I'm just going to click out and then control click to unselect it, but that way you'll see that now it's in there. And I can see that I'm on level 1. You can see how that one's active, but I can hit page down and I can see I'm on level 0. And I made it so that it would be on level 1 was what I was picturing being exporting as. But you want to do whatever you made your normal maps for. So I'm going to hit W back off. So I'm going to export him at this resolution as well as his texture maps. Okay. So with him, let's go ahead and go to object list. I'm going to click on him just to make sure I have him. And I'm just going to do file, export. Actually, you know what? Let's grab him and this guy and this guy. I'm going to grab his eyeballs too. So you can grab all the objects that make up your character. So I'm going to grab all of them, which is just him and 2 eyeballs. And I'm just going to do file, export selection. And then I'll just export it right to the desktop for now. And I'll just say Wolverine final export. And I'm just going to export it as an OBJ and hit save. Great. And then what we need to do is go to the paint. So I'm going to click on the character itself because the paint layers are on there. So I'll make sure I grab him and then control click off. And then we'll go to my paint layers. And then I can see them here. I'm just going to collapse them. I just have 3 here. So I'm just going to right click over diffuse and just do export channel merged. And we'll just say, just go to desktop again. And I'm just going to say, Wolverine final color map, we'll say. And then, okay, give that a second. Come on, you can do it. Good. And I'm going to do the same thing with specular. Right click over top of the specular. Make sure it's the channel, not the layer itself. Export channel merged. And we'll do Wolverine final export. Instead of color map, this will be specular map. And then I'm going to right click over top of the normal map and we'll just export channel merged. And instead of specular map, this will be normal map. Okay. Map. And we will save. Okay. And that's all I need from Mudbox. Now I'm going to open up Maya. I just have a fresh scene, and I'm just going to start off by making a Maya project folder. So just do File, Project Window, and I'm going to call this Wolverine Rig, we'll call it, and I am just going to put this right on the desktop. Just click on the folder to choose the location. I'm going to put it right on the desktop here, and we'll select that. And the rest of these options are fine. I'm going to hit Accept. All right. I'm going to minimize this, and what you're going to see is, I don't need this anymore. I'll close this out. Don't save. And I'm going to minimize this. And what you're going to see is that we have the 3 files we made here. I don't have the OBJ that I sent out. I don't know where that went. Where did you go? Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I don't understand what happened there. So let's try that again. I'm just going to go ahead and Mudbox. Maybe because I had multiple objects selected, that shouldn't be doing that. But for some reason, the model didn't. Oh, you know why? Because I exported it out to a different area. That's why. Okay, so I thought I exported out to the desktop. I did not export out to the Wolverine project folder I had made earlier. I'm just going to find that real quick. So I had exported here is the OBJ. I'm just going to plop that over here. So I just put it in the wrong, I just didn't put it in the right folder. Okay. So what you're going to see is, let's move this over so you can see. Okay. So I have the OBJ exported, and then I have those 3 texture maps I exported. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, it also, when I did the Maya project folder, it made this project folder. So this is meant for Maya. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these elements and put them in the corresponding spots here. So first in scenes, I'm going to take the OBJ and put that into the scenes folder. And then in the source images, those are pictures that are going to go into your model. I'm going to put these images in there. Okay, like that. Boom. All right. That looks great. Close that out. Just put this back right there. And let's go over here. All right, so now I just need to bring it in. Now we need to import the OBJ. This should already be on, but just in case it's not, just make sure you go to Windows. I mean, yours will be if you've done this before in the class, but just as a reminder, just make sure you go down and you just want to make sure objexport.mll is on. Okay, mine's on. It's fine. So we're just gonna do File, Import, and then you'll see that it'll automatically go right to the Scenes folder. So there it is right there. Import. And there's my dude. He's looking dudacious. I'm just going to go ahead. You'll notice that it has hard normals. All the edges have hard edges. So you can see every face. I'm just going to go ahead and fix that real quick. So you just select it. Make sure you're in the modeling toolkit. Go to Mesh Display and just do Soften Edge. And that will soften the edges. Okay, so that way it doesn't have hard edges. Usually you want to like specifically denote yes or no, but we'll just do the whole thing soft. That's probably good enough. So that looks good. Now what I'm going to do is this. I need to put a custom material on this. So I'm going to go ahead and click over top of the model, and I'm going to go Assign New Material. And then it's going to give me options. I'm just going to choose Blend, because that one will allow shininess. And we'll see we have this here. It'll pop open here. It might pop open there. We're just going to call this Wolverine _MAT for material. And then make sure you hit Enter, because it will sometimes crash if you don't hit that. At least it used to. Then it's going to ask for the color map. I can choose a color here, like make it red, and you're going to see he's red. But what I want to do is actually use that color map I made before. So I'm going to hit this little checker box. It's going to pop open over here. You can see I can choose a file. These are procedural textures, which basically means that's like a repeating texture pattern that it'll generate through math. So anyways, it's going to go here. It'll say file. I'm going to go click on this little folder, and you'll see it automatically goes to my source images folder. Again, because it's the project that's set up. So I'm just going to go color map and open. And then voila, you won't see it. And the reason why we're not seeing it is because we are in smooth shade mode. If you look up here, you'll see these little boogers here. This one is wireframe. This is flat shaded. This is flat shaded with wireframe. And this is texture. Okay. Now, what you could also do is if you have it selected, or you don't even have to select it. Basically, 4 is wireframe, 5 is flat shaded, 6 is texture, 7 is lighting, but you can do it on any lights. Okay, so I got the textures on there. You see that looks fine, but that's just the color map. I actually want to put the other maps on there as well. So with this guy selected, I'm just gonna go over here until I get to the Wolverine material, and then we can. And I'm just in the attribute editor, which is this button right here. If it doesn't show up here, this should actually be inside of this box. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the specular color, which is this one right here. Click on this, choose file again. It's going to give me an option. I'm going to click on this, and we're going to choose Wolverine Specular. All right. And it's not going to look like it did too awful much, but you can kind of see a little bit of the shine on this, but not on the other. Like right here, you can really tell. All right. That's pretty cool. All right. That's great. I need to get back to the material again. So I can click on him, and again, there's these little arrows. If you have a hard time finding it that way, what you could also do is select him. This opens up the hypershade, which will show you all the materials in your scene. Or you can go Windows, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. And you should see right here the material. And when you select it there, you'll get these settings here, and you should also see it over here. Okay, so just be aware you can get it either way. The next one I want to do is the normal map, which is right here. If you do it from over here, it's bump map. Okay, so it's kind of the same. I'm just going to go ahead and do it over here so that you can see it. This way is less obvious. Click on this. I'm going to go ahead and choose File. It's going to bring me this menu, not to the file. You see the File tab's right here. And here, I need to switch this to tangent space normals. We're not doing a bump map. We're doing a normal map. Okay. Then go to File 3. Or whatever it is, and then click on that, and then I'm going to choose my normal map and hit open. And now you will see that there is a normal map being applied. So it might look a little bit weird. It should hopefully render more correctly. And I'm going to hit escape. Don't do this just because you're probably going to be confused by it. I just want to show you. Because right now it's trying to render an Arnold. Yeah, I know there's no light in the scene, because this is just going to render black. I'm just trying to hit escape. When you hit escape, it'll stop the rendering process. There we go. And I'm just going to switch this instead to Maya Software, and then hit render. And it might look a little bit weird. Hopefully not. But That's a little bit weird, but you can see it's definitely on there a little bit more than what it's showing there. Okay, it might need a little bit of adjustment, but we have the basic elements there. We have the normal map applied, and we have the color map and all of the elements on there. Okay, it just doesn't have lighting or anything, but we can do that later. That's really not that big of a deal. So I'm going to call that good. The character is in there. So last thing I want to do is just save this. So I'm just going to do Control-Shift-S or File Save As. And you can see I'm automatically go to the scenes view. And we'll just call this, I'm going to call mine Wolverine Rig _ V01 for my first version. And then I'll hit Save As. And we'll call that good. Great. And so in the next video, we'll start making the skeleton.